The Break of Noon is a story about a man named John Smith, a regular guy who works in an office, and he lives through an office shooting.
And during the shooting, he believes that he was visited by God and told what to do and therefore saved. And now he's trying to figure out what to do with the rest of his life, because before he was not a religious man.
You know, everybody has an opinion about religion and faith and where do we go and is there a God and was Jesus, you know, the Savior, or was he just this dude, you know, who had nice hair?
And he told us, he says, look, we worship spirits. We worship Lucifer and all his angels. They're just as beautiful as they did before they were cast out of heaven. The most feasible way, he says, to please the spirits is to deride Christ and his people. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
It's an evening of 9 plays that all tackle the issue of gay marriage.
A cause that we really believe in.
The pieces are really funny, and they speak about a really important topic. I think it's really important to get the word out.
Sometimes people will come up to me on the street and they'll have an 8-year-old with them and they'll say, he's your biggest fan, he loves the show so much.
You think 8-year-olds are watching that?
I hope not.
The Word of God says the sins of the parents are visited upon the children.
Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. We really love you and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel of love.
I was the naughty child of playwriting. Not just to get, you know, a spanking, which, you know, I'm always up for. I think you can say whatever you want to say. But people want it to be, you know, a finite thing, and they want to say, no, I know the answer. I know what, you know, what God really wants.
I think part of the idea of the play is that question that everyone asks, like, if God is really good and if God is really omnipotent, why is there any wrongdoing? Why does anyone hurt anyone ever?
Without TV, the Illuminati would never gain control of the world. There's symbols on the TV sets that are hypnotic symbols. You can talk to anybody that's a hypnotist and they can tell you, why do you think that you can sit there and somebody can scream in your ear half the time and you don't know they're screaming at you? There are things that are burnt into your mind through the TV sets that are subtle, that are symbols and words and actions. 2 of the major networks in this country are completely Illuminati owned. Lock, stock, and barrel. ABC and CBS. And NBC is 90% Illuminati. Try getting a serious Bible-believing program on TV that preaches hardcore gospel. It'll never happen.
What was the highlight for you tonight? Did you get a chance to watch the show?
I did. My dear friend Sarah Paulson in her beautiful Ream opera gown was something to behold.
Okay, now I know you and Sarah Paulson are real good buddies.
Cherry Jones, Sarah Paulson. Sarah Paulson, are we allowed to talk about why you guys are standing together?
Oh, sure.
Why are you standing together?
Because we're in love.
Oh, how sweet is that? Can you tell us is this a fresh new romance?
No, it's about 4 years. 4 years.
Throughout history, there have always been things like vampires, werewolves, witches. They're people who simply did not conform to whatever the mainstream was. We are what has descended from people who were called werewolves, vampires, witches. And we are Satanists, and we do represent the very things that the average mind would consider dangerous or would consider evil or frightening.
Witches are taught that hell is a lie. I was saved for hours before I ever knew there was a devil. They don't believe in hell. They believe when they die, they will come back in another life.
Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it came to immunizations, I wanted the facts. So I carefully researched vaccines, talking to pediatricians and other experts and asking tough questions. The answer was obvious. Vaccines like those against measles and influenza are not only a good idea, they could save our daughter's life. Take the time to get the facts. Vaccines save lives.
But that's the great miraculous part of faith, that we never get it handed to us. It's always ephemeral and in the air, and so you either believe it or you don't, and that's the great, mystery of it.
You don't know if your son is going to be straight or gay.
There are clues.
One doesn't know, one doesn't care.
Right, exactly. Sadly don't care.
This
right.
one, anyway.
Right, I don't care.
Hey, I'm Jesus.
I sit on a council of 13 people that take orders only from the Rothschild Tribunal in London, which they claim they take their orders directly from Lucifer. The television has a very absorbing nature upon people. You begin to accept that what you see on television is reality. They watch them and these are nice, clean-cut figures. Surely from their television shows, that's just the way they are. But it's not so. One of the most powerful witches in the United States is on television. She's a homosexual.
They're even more excited about the X-Files movie, right? They are so well trained. For you, dinner for two at the Marriott Marquis and a magic 8-ball, Elizabeth. A magic 8-ball, Elizabeth.
When you take something that belongs to the devil into your possession, you're asking for trouble. Certain objects are inspired by the spirit of Satan.
I think Elizabeth should have her own show.
She will one day, believe me. Carla, that is just damn creepy. Dinner or lunch for two at the Peninsula and some tarot cards. For you, we have dinner or lunch for two at Top of the Sixes and, more importantly, Penny, a Ouija board.
Consulter of familiar spirits is a medium. That is somebody who asks the spirits to guide them. How many of you have used the Ouija board? That's the consulter of familiar spirits.
That is so creepy. What the?
Monica, what are you doing?
Hey!
Monica, what are you doing? Oh my God, Monica! Monica, calm down!
There are things that you should and should not do with your power of magic. Mm-hmm.
We also believe in magic, which is the use of this force that we call Satan.
The Rothschild Tribunal in London. They claim they take their orders directly from Lucifer. The doctrine of the occult teaches that Lucifer comes and sits at their dining room table. When they see the table, they leave 13 chairs out, and the 13th one is for Lucifer to sit in himself. They set him a plate and everything. Now, I've been there in the mansion, and I've seen this go on.
Hank Moody? Marilyn Manson.
This season, Californication's rocking out with a dope set of guest stars.
Is that what we have?
Oh, are we?
To mention,
he's this English composer and singer and actor, and he is unbelievable.
It's a constant descent into complete hedonistic uselessness.
Anybody in the last 2 years that's come on television must be an initiated witch. I can only make you one promise that what I've got to say is the truth. It won't seem that way to some of you. It'll just seem that I'm either crazy or I'm the biggest liar and storyteller in the world. That's what our televisions have done to us. They've gotten us to a frame of mind that we do not realize the real world around us. To be a member of their staff, actors and actresses, you must bear the scar of initiation.
Greetings and salutations, sire. You're looking well, as ripped as ever, I see.
What can I do for you, Faith?
I need you. Whoa, geez, relax. There's no need to get your loincloth in a bunch if they're...
I think you're forgetting something, Faith. Jesus loves you.
Any of the new shows coming on, you can just check them off. Those people belong to a witchcraft or Satan's brotherhood somewhere, or they wouldn't be there.
Queer Duck, he's homosexual. Please don't think that he's perverse. He's the patient's favorite male nurse. He's okay, he's just fake, 'cause he's openly gay. He's a truly queer duck, queer duck.
The power of the Lord commands you.
No, I don't.
Oh, Jesus, get it off, get it off, get it off! Help us, Lord.
Hello? I'm like 3 inches tall.
Ouch! Ow!
Hey, I'm Jesus.
You've said as I became less and less afraid of new experiences, my personality changed at Yale.
Yeah.
How did it change? And what did you study at Yale?
I was in the PhD program for English literature, and I thought if I was going to write dramatically that I should learn something about acting. And that's how I kind of went in through the back door to start acting.
At Yale?
At Yale, yeah.
Yale University is 300 years old this year, and were you to visit its campus, you would see that it still has exotic clubhouses, which look like tombs where Yale's legendary secret societies meet. Their prestige and importance have largely evaporated, but the rituals are still a secret.
And I love the architecture.
What is your major?
I guess, am I allowed to say, it'll probably change 5 times for next year. They always do. So far it's literature. I have established myself at Yale. I don't need to prove to them that I'm normal, because I think people know that I'm normal. And I think that the greatest thing about Yale is that the people are intelligent enough and are respectful.
Here's ABC's Stan Harris.
The videotape provides a grainy glimpse into what appear to be the initiation rituals of a secret society that's been around since 1832, whose members have gone on to be leaders of Wall Street and the White House, the Senate and the Supreme Court. Initiates, known as neophytes, being forced to kiss a skull. Then members performing a mock killing. An extremely rare view into the secret society that groomed the American ruling class for generations.
When you get into a secret society of spirit worshippers, and especially when you're invited there by the direction of the higher-ups in the spirit world, you never get out of there alive. Because as soon as anybody strays, the spirits will tell the high priest right away what's taking place.
Initiation of witchcraft blood sacrifice called the Rite of the Warrior on the Block.
The power of secrecy, there was a knife pointed at them when they were led by the summoner to the challenger to a circle with a star, 5 points in it, to be initiated. They are blindfolded, they are bound, and they're being reborn. We receive a new name through sprinkle baptism, a completely new name when we're initiated in the witchcraft. We drop our robes so that we're new. When we walk in the circle, we're re-robed because we're born again.
It's that wonderful time of self-discovery. I would never trade it.
I'd like to thank my family and my family of friends, the trusted ones, the circle.
What was the title of your senior thesis at Princeton?
It's called The Schizophrenic Critique of Pure Reason in Beckett's novels.
The most feasible way is to please the spirits, is to deride Christ and his people. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
I was born into a witchcraft family. When you were learning the 23rd Psalm, I was learning the witches' chant. When you were reading about Moses opening the Red Sea, 4 spiritual laws and the 10 Commandments, I was reading J.R.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, what we call witch language.
And what did you study at Yale?
I was in the PhD program for English literature.
Did you begin work on your dissertation?
I did.
What was its subject?
I know it.
Magic?
Yeah, magic and technology in contemporary American fiction and poetry.
Why magic and technology?
There are things that you should and should not do with your power of magic.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of was going to talk about certain writers, Pynchon, Mailer, Ishmael Reed, James Merrill, Robertson Davies, Pynchon.
When witches write a book, they order a demon to go into every copy that comes off the press. So when you own a book on witchcraft, you have a demon residing in your home, free of charge. My foster mother, when she wrote a book, she would light candles and demand that spirits from the underworld enter every book that came off the press so that the person reading the book would be addicted to the world of the occult. And all writers on the occult do the same thing.
I kind of was going to talk about certain writers, Pynchon, Mailer.
Your warfare is not physical, it's spiritual.
When you take something that belongs to the devil into your possession, you're asking for trouble. Certain objects are inspired by the spirit of Satan, by demonic influence.
If you're going to live in his territory, he's going to live in yours.
Pynchon, Mailer, Ishmael Reed.
He would talk to the spirit, and then the spirit was audible to him. See, you could hear the spirit talk to him, but the man did not hear. The supposed spirits of the dead that you're talking with are demon spirits, your fallen angels.
Pynchon, Mailer, Ishmael Reed, James Merrill.
So the priest said, look, fellas, I'm not going to pressure you into anything, okay? But I want to show you what the spirits can do for a devoted servant. There's something interesting about the human mind. You can adjust to a lot of things that would terrify you to begin with. After a while, they become common and ordinary.
So you mean contact with the supernatural can become commonplace and ordinary and doesn't bother anybody?
Yeah.
In other words, the more that you do it, you're not uncomfortable.
That's right.
It's just not an uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
The only answer to witchcraft, the only way that anybody's ever succeeded in getting out has been through the blood of Christ. Witchcraft is real and supernatural.
Pynchon, Mailer, Ishmael Reed, James Merrill, Robertson Davies.
One of the steps on that plan said this: we will infiltrate the education and media system. We will seize the minds of all youth. We will implant within them satanic doctrine, theology, and ideology. And as he reaches adulthood, he will pass those things down from generation to generation until we have captured the minds of every individual. How many know that Satan doesn't come through the front door? He never comes at you from the front, because that would be giving himself away. He slips in through the back. They have found a way to make evil look cute, and we're buying it by the drove.
The stronger the witch, the more demons that they have allowed in. When they take a young person and they train them for witchcraft, they give them assignments, and the assignments tear down every moral fiber, and just literally they become a human chalice. They fill up with demons. As they do these things, they break down all the barriers holding the devil back. And when they're done, they have a very powerful supernatural witch. Familiar spirits, our spirit guides, the witches believe, are spirits of people who have died. We know from the Word of God they're demonic spirits. They're the angels that fell with Lucifer.
Was there ever an occasion when your mother told you that your Aunt Goldie was your guardian angel?
Yes. When I was born, she had a vision. My Aunt Goldie came and sat on her bed in the hospital, and she said, "I'm so glad you had a little girl and you named her Goldie, and I'll be watching her."
Yeah, I'm from Lower East Side. 172nd Avenue, apartment 3B, yeah. Across the street was the graveyard, the St. Mark's graveyard. I hung out there, we played ball there. The gravestones were bases. So, you know, you had the name of the gravestone was the base. It wasn't, you didn't call it first base, you called it Peter Stuyvesant or whatever Dutchman was buried there. You know, my mother was a really good cook, being half Jewish and half Scottish. We had stuffed derma with blood sausage. Just the name makes you salivate, doesn't it? Pynchon, Mailer, Ishmael Reed, James Merrill, Robertson Davies.
As they do these things, they break down all the barriers holding the devil back. And just literally, they become a human chalice. They fill up with demons.
Case of life imitating art. Actor David Duchovny, who won a Golden Globe playing a man obsessed with sex in the Showtime series Californication, is now in rehab. Duchovny, who also starred in The X-Files, claims he's addicted to sex. What are the causes of sex addiction, and is it treatable? We want to get some of those answers from psychologist Jeff Gardner.
Throughout history, there have always been things like vampires, werewolves, witches. They're people who simply did not conform to whatever the mainstream was. We are what has descended from people who were called werewolves, vampires, witches. And we are Satanists, and we do represent the very things that the average mind would consider dangerous or would consider evil or frightening.
I'm not gay. I'm also straight.
Well, I'm glad we talked
You know,
about
but
it.
sometimes I do wish that I was gay recently because I find you very attractive.
You were chosen by high-powered demon spirits to be a part of their human, special, privileged group.
And I said to the spirit, you want to talk to me? The spirit said, yes. The master has tremendous plans for your life. Fame, honor, respect, wealth. He said, we've worked for so long, over the years, to prepare you for the master's work.
I knew my son was straight when we were watching American Idol. I figured it out. You know, you don't know. You don't know if your son is going to be straight or gay.
There are clues.
One doesn't know, one doesn't care.
Right, exactly. Sadly don't care.
This one, anyway.
Right, I don't care.
Sometimes people will come up to me on the street and they'll have an 8-year-old with them and they'll say, he's your biggest fan. He loves the show so much.
You think 8-year-olds are watching that?
I hope not.
What about your kids? Do they, I mean...
No, they don't. They don't watch that.
You don't think so?
No, I'm going to put it in a time capsule and when I'm dead, it's going to be like in my will. Now, now you can watch California.
That'll be great for them, I'm sure, yeah?
This is how you went through college.
The most feasible way, he says, to please the spirits is to deride Christ and his people. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
Apparently, James Spader, the actor, had suggested a part of a transvestite drug enforcement agent to his friend Mark Frost, who was one of the producers of the show.
Yeah.
I just went in to audition, and they told me I was going to be playing a transvestite, and I didn't have the clothes for it, so I kind of just came in with an emery board, I think, and just kind of, you know, did this, and it was very effeminate in the audition, and I got the part, and then I went on set, and they nared my legs completely, and they put me in a big old dress, and they put me in a wig, and they had almost kabuki makeup on me, and then I looked at myself in the mirror, and I thought, don't work so hard.
What about the clothes that you wore?
They were tight.
Were they?
Yeah. I grew to respect the travails of women wearing pantyhose because they made me feel fat.
The Rapture was a movie with serious intentions, some very good roles in it.
Yeah, what was interesting about The Rapture was, I think it's the only movie that I can think of that actually comes down on the side of there is a God, and yet the Mimi Rogers character decides not to throw in with them. It was basically, if there is a God, and he has done what he has done to me and to the world,
I'm not interested.
I don't want to have anything to do with him. And I thought, wow, that's ballsy. That's a ballsy movie.
Do you have any problem with the nudity in it?
Only my own.
Was it a problem?
We were swingers, you know. Me and Mimi were swingers. We were having sex in a furniture store. So, you know, you got to be nude in a furniture store. Connie, you're not a real woman. Connie, I've never seen you out of drag, but I have to say that as a broad, you're a real looker.
Ah.
Tell me how the X-Files came into your life.
Randy Stone, a friend and a genius in my eyes. He cast the show. With that in mind, there are a few people that I would like to thank. Randy Stone, a friend and a genius in my eyes. He cast the show.
David Duchovny was an early favorite, and he was a pretty easy person to cast.
You were chosen by high-powered demon spirits to be a part of their human, special, privileged group.
All I remember is that I suddenly decided that I was going to look in the paper and try and audition for something, but I don't know why and what drove me to it, no. And then all of a sudden I got this job on literally a Thursday and flew up and started filming it on a Saturday 2 days later.
And I knew as soon as she read it that she was the right person for the part.
You were chosen by high-powered demon spirits to be a part of their human, special, privileged group.
And I said to the spirit, you want to talk to me? The spirit said, yes. The master has tremendous plans for your life. Fame, honor, respect, wealth. He said, we've worked for so long, over the years, to prepare you for the master's work.
We are Satanists, and we do represent the very things that the average mind would consider dangerous, or would consider evil or frightening.
The devil always thinks on himself.
Where does the name Mulder come from?
That's Chris Carter's mother's maiden name.
And who's Chris Carter?
Chris Carter is the creator of the X-Files.
And the winner is David Duchovny, the X-Files.
I want to thank Chris Carter, who's a friend, a mentor.
The The only answer to witchcraft, the only way that anybody's ever succeeded in getting out has been through the blood of Christ. Witchcraft is real and supernatural.
I thought of the X-Files as a search for God, really, and that was a big part of the inspiration. As far as a particular religion, there is no particular religion. It was really the truth is out there, is for me, is the mantra, but I want to believe that poster on Mulder's wall, I think, says it all.
So the priest said, look, fellas, I'm not going to pressure you into anything, okay? But I want to show you what the spirits can do for a devoted servant.
Did you enjoy playing the dual role?
Oh, yeah. Anytime you get to, you know, just stretch out a little bit and play being possessed, being inhabited by another spirit, you know, but still looking like Mulder, that's, you know, a gift to be able to do that.
Somebody gets inside Mulder.
Yeah, Darren's character does.
The remarkable thing about it is it's absolutely Eddie's soul in your body every single moment.
Yeah. I very much appreciate the kind of drama of the X-Files, you know, the production values and hopefully the acting and the writing. And I don't think of it as science fiction, really. I just think of it as a drama.
How fully formed was Special Agent Fox Mulder when you got that script?
I think there was a lot in it that was fully formed in Mulder because I think there was certain levels of insubordination and humor that I always wanted to bring out more within the tension of the filming. I just finished a movie in New York called Trust the Man. It's a movie with myself, Julianne Moore.
The television has a very absorbing nature upon people. You begin to accept that what you see on television is reality. They watch them and these are nice, clean-cut figures. Surely from their television shows that's just the way they are. But it's not so. Anybody in the last 2 years that's come on television must be an initiated witch. To be a member of their staff, actors and actresses, you must bear the scar of initiation. Any of the new shows coming on, you can just check them off. Those people belong to a witchcraft or Satan's brotherhood somewhere, or they wouldn't be there. You're not on television or in the movies because you're good. You're there because you paid a price, whatever the producer wanted from you. In the early 70s and late 60s, it was homosexuality. And before that, the producer's couch and so on. But now it's witchcraft.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well, I guess you were wrong. I do exist.
They watch them and these are nice, clean-cut figures. Surely from their television shows that's just the way they are. But it's not so.
You see the entertainers, they have these crosses. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
Luciferian, they believe that Jesus Christ is the God of evil. Like we would feel about the devil, they feel about Jesus. And Lucifer, they feel towards him like we'd feel about Jesus. That's what they teach. Jesus Christ, the God of brutality and sin and evil, and Lucifer, the God of love, beauty, and peace, and the true God. The Illuminati is about 1,000 conspiracies all running at one time. Its belief is that Lucifer can bring peace to the world, and they're going to conspire and conspire and conspire till they have a world government. Sometimes I wonder why they could be so dumb that sitting there doing exactly what is going to lead to their destruction. But then that's usually how the devil is. He keeps everything in darkness.
Witches teach that the Christian Bible is an absolute lie, created by the God of evil named Jesus.
It's better to be fucked up, lost, and found than never fucked up at all. I would love my kids to get lost when they're between 16 and 22.
I always thought they were kind of weird because they kept talking about controlling the world. And I thought, let's stay back with witchcraft, this world government thing. Witches are never going to control the world.
The guy who says you should be able to marry anyone you want. President Obama and Michelle are coming to my house for dinner on June 14th.
Good afternoon. My name is Larry Sinclair. In regards to the Obama incident, I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois. The following day, November 7th, 1999, Senator Obama appeared at my hotel room, unannounced, uninvited, where we again ingested cocaine and I again performed fellatio on Senator Obama.
When you're initiated into Satanism, you're given a ceramic cross. You're told to turn that cross upside down, take the 2 points and break them down, symbolizing that there is no God. There's never been, never will be a symbol for peace. It's a symbol of the broken cross.
President Obama and Michelle are coming to my house for dinner on June 14th. And I want you to be there too, because we need him and he needs us.
I'm Barack Obama and I approve this message.
Sometimes I wonder why they could be so dumb that sitting there doing exactly what is going to lead to their destruction. But then that's usually how the devil is. He keeps everything in darkness.
Any of the new shows coming on, you can just check them off. Those people belong to a witchcraft or Satan's brotherhood somewhere, or they wouldn't be there. They watch them, and these are nice, clean-cut figures, but it's not so.
where did all this begin? It seems like a great project to kind of have as your first directorial project.
You look for odd terrain. You look for terrain that kind of shifts your spirit. Breathed air into my spiritual lungs, which is necessary. And it's scary because it's such a subjective, it's such a personal thing, faith. Defining what it means to be holy, defining what God means to you, it's so subjective. And people are on guard. as soon as God's name, like as soon as you say the word God, it's jarring. And I'm asking a lot of people. I'm asking a lot. I'm not making a film for believers. I'm not making a film for non-believers. I'm making a film for the whole spectrum of people, of humanity. I didn't want to comment on fundamental Christianity. I wanted to comment on fundamental humanity. No matter if we look to Islam for faith or we look to sweat lodges,
What was it like being with George Clooney?
Being in bed with George, well, on a film set, it's like you've been waiting, at the front of, I've been waiting in a long, sweaty line for that new ride at Six Flags, and you get there, and they close the park down due to thunderstorms because you don't actually get to sleep. Yeah.
Did you propose to Taya that she would play the mother in this, or was it her idea?
I hadn't wanted to ask her because I didn't want to put her on the spot, of saying, I don't want to be in your movie. And she said she was, she said, why don't I play the mom? And then, of course, the perversity of, of my wife playing my character's mom appealed to me.
Witches are taught that hell is a lie. I was saved for hours before I ever knew there was a devil. They don't believe in hell. They believe when they die, they will come back in another life.
And to these people, they are sold to the fact that Christ will not return to this planet with power and great glory. Christ will abdicate all claim to the planet because he knows that it is lawfully and rightfully Satan's. He says there was a misunderstanding in the whole thing, he says, among the inhabitants of the galaxies. And he says our master was misunderstood. And God did not bear with him like he does with people that make mistakes today. So we're in a warfare, good against evil. And we happen to be the evil ones, but we're not that bad. The priest mentioned there's thousands of spirit worshippers in only different societies of spirit worshippers in this world. But he says we are the elite. We know the real truth about the master and his angels.
To be a member of their staff, actors and actresses, you must bear the scar of initiation.
Better to be fucked up, lost and found than never fucked up at all. Just make it filthy.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't, it doesn't belong in there, just curse.
Yeah.
Curse your fucking ass off.
The Joneses.
This fucking movie is incredible. And there's a couple of real fucks in it.
How about how about that?
And then some motherfuckers.
How about this usage? That was fuck.
Fuck yeah.
Go see this motherfucking movie, you motherfuckers. Fuck yeah. That would have been a holy shit moment. I just looked in the mirror and said, oh, fuck, I'm Goat Man. That's Goat Man.
That's a great t-shirt. Fuck, I'm Goat Man. Definitely a holy shit moment.
It was like, holy shit, I am badass.
I'm badass and I picked the wrong fucking career.
Could have the best weed on the East Coast. Oh, you get high?
Now, I would be surprised if this wasn't one of the most accepting generations of all sorts of crazy things. I mean, we're getting dangerously close to very Amsterdamian lifestyle in America.
Sometimes I wonder why they could be so dumb that they're doing exactly what is going to lead to their destruction.
But then that's usually how the devil is. He keeps everything in darkness.
The most feasible way, he says, to please the spirits is to deride Christ and his people. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
See, the lower witches believe that the power for witchcraft comes from orgies and sex. The higher witches believe it's attained by human blood.
I would love my kids to get lost when they're between 16 and 22. Well, I'm back, and you're black, which is cool. I'm a big fan of Black Jesus. High five. Don't leave me hanging. There you go.
Can I help you, my son?
Oh, hey, Padre. No, I was just trying to check in with Jay-Z up there. Okay, big guy, you and me. We've never done this before, but desperate times call for desperate measures. My name is Hank.
Hello, Hank.
Oh, I'm sorry, sister. I was just trying to have a little chat with your husband up there.
Is there something I can help you with?
No, I wouldn't want to bother a real live person about it.
It wouldn't be a bother, Hank. In fact, that's why I'm here.
I mean, put it simply, I can't write, which really kind of sucks because I'm supposed to be a writer, and I can't seem to be able to produce so much as a goddamn predicate. My apologies, I fucked up.
Well, normally I would suggest a bunch of Our Fathers or a couple Hail Marys, but I don't think that's gonna get it done. What about a blowjob? Would that make you feel any better?
A blowjob from you?
Well, something tells me it's not gonna suck itself, Hank.
But sure none. Oh, totally fucking hot none. Sweet baby Jesus. Hank is going to hell.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You did good. You used what you had.